Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of The Father, the Son, and the Podcast. My name is Ian. I am the Son,
My name is Paul. I am the father.
and this is our podcast. So, in this first episode, probably one of my greatest life achievements is I got my dad to watch an anime, finally. So, in this first episode of The Father, the
Good
Son, and
God.
the Podcast, we're going to talk about my dad's experience watching his first anime. So before we get into that, I just want to ask, Pops, why were you so against watching anime? Because I don't think it couldn't have been an animation thing because we used to watch the Justice League cartoon, we used to watch the Batman cartoon, we used to watch the Teen Titans cartoon, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, which are both heavily influenced by anime. And it can't be the subtitles problem because you watch foreign films so often.
Right. So, anime to me was always like subtitles, poor animation, Japanese. Couldn't understand it. I think where I really changed and was willing to give it a try was after watching The Last Airbender, which was kind of like a subtle introduction to anime.
That's everyone's first non-anime. Everyone's first anime that isn't an anime is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
But it's similar. It's similar.
No, of course, no. It's so.
I mean, unless you're a true fan, you're not going to notice the difference.
No, so the difference between an anime and a cartoon is simply how it's licensed, I believe, is the word I'm trying to think of. So if you create a show and it's licensed as a cartoon, even if it looks exactly like an anime, if it's licensed as a cartoon, it's a cartoon. There's one anime that has ever been produced from America, and that's called Ruby, RWBY. That's the only anime to come from America, and that's because it's licensed as an anime. So that's just little factoid for you. So
Oh, sorry.
yeah, we're trying to help people fall asleep. That's what this podcast is about, really.
Yeah, well, that was a long explanation. That
Yeah,
wasn't
sorry.
necessary.
My apologies. Avatar's so great, isn't it? Just real quick.
Avatar's fantastic.
Avatar's so good. I love Avatar so much.
It was also excellent for me because we truly were able to just sit together and watch it, especially when we did the
So's the comment.
the whole thing. When
Oh,
we watched
that's
it,
right.
we just made it a point to watch it from
Yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because we made, it was like a nightly thing. We sat down, we watched a couple episodes. It was kind of cool. And you were young. It was nice. It was a good thing for us to share.
I think that was the first show that I had watched start to finish. Like, watched the first episode when it aired and watched every episode
Right.
since then. And then, man, I just fell in love with that show.
So, and I
in love
also
with that
think
show.
that, I've always watched animation. I grew up watching cartoons.
Yeah, of course.
So that's a different form of animation. But, cartoons are cartoons. I mean, I grew up with Bugs Bunny, the Flintstones.
Yeah, of course.
You name it. All the wacky racers, Penelope Pitstop, all that stuff.
So do you think maybe it was like a childish thing where you saw it as an animation? You're like, this is for kids. This can't be for adults. I can't get into this.
Yeah, I think it was. It wasn't like an animation, like a movie.
Yeah, right.
It was like, I was thinking, it was like, all right, this is kind of childish.
Yeah,
But, I was pleasantly surprised.
yeah. So let's talk about your first anime that you watched, My Hero Academia. So before you started watching it, when I told you about the show, what did you think of it? Like, what was before you even pressed play on the first episode, or I think I pressed play on the first episode, what were your thoughts going into watching the show?
I didn't know what to expect, quite honestly. I was like, all right, superhero movie, maybe, so I got my interest. Obviously, My Hero Academia, but I don't know, I figured school had something to do with it based on the title.
Right.
But I thought it was going to be like Harry Potter, but surrounding around superheroes.
Right, and you like Harry Potter.
I do like Harry Potter.
You read all the books.
I did read all the books.
You saw all the movies.
Yes.
Took us to the first midnight showing for me. It was
Right.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Right.
So after watching the first episode, at the end of the first episode, or actually watching the first episode, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was kind of quirky, kind of funny. I
Was
didn't
that a
like
pun?
all the...
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
Did you just make a joke?
I did.
Oh my goodness!
Come on, man.
It's
You gotta
good.
stick
No,
with
it's
it.
good.
Yeah,
It's good.
I slid that in. You didn't expect
so
it.
Nice.
and then I caught you off guard with a joke.
Came out of nowhere. Just hit me with all its might.
Oh, it's my all at once. One for all for one.
First
Amazing.
episode. So first episode. What were your thoughts?
It took a little time to build up, set the foundation, but I thought the characters are kind of amplified.
Yeah, of course.
Of what they are.
Of
I mean,
course.
honestly, All
course.
Might. It's pretty,
Yeah.
basic stuff. But
Yeah. There's a lot of the names in that show are puns. Like the one character Tetsu is a pun in Japanese. I forget what the word means, but I think it means something around like something steel. Basically, that's the joke. Is that a lot of the names are puns. And so yeah, for me watching, I love this show. Like I think it's one of the best animes that I've ever watched. I've watched a few. I haven't watched all that many, but it's so good. I really enjoy it, but it didn't quite grab my attention really until episode 4 when he finally, like during the placement exam,
right.
when he gets accepted to the school. Like that was the moment for me where I was all in. At that point, I was 100% on board for the show. When was that moment for you? Do you think? Because I had to fight you so hard.
I know
to get you to
just
keep
watch
watching
like the first
this
two
show.
episodes, but it kind of kicked in when I think after he got accepted into the school and they had like their first test.
Oh, when they were like throwing the baseball and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, man.
And then
That's
I'm like,
good.
this might be all right, And then obviously when they attacked the school, when the villains attacked the school, that was it. I was like, all right, I gotta watch this now.
Yeah. So after season 1, what were your thoughts on the show?
I thought it was very good. I thought it was very well done. I mean, basic storylines, but still,
Yeah, of course.
I thought it was done very well, and it was entertaining. It was actually it was a lot more. It was a lot more humor in it than I thought there would be.
Yeah, and I had to kind of warn you going into watching your first anime that hey, just so you know, man, anime gets weird sometimes. The weird.
Yeah, the flashbacks and the almost like a game. It's almost like a video game where they put up and they stop to just show you who they are, what their powers are, what their quirks are, all that stuff.
There's also some parts in anime where it kind of the animation style just changes completely and it becomes a super basic cartoon. So that was I was like kind of preparing. I was like, listen, man, this stuff it's just you just gotta kind of accept that it doesn't make sense sometimes.
Yeah, man, but now I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Now I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I think it's a little slow developing for what you call it, for his power to take over, but
Right.
for him to control it, he's only like 5%, all that stuff. But
Yeah,
what's his name again? I forget.
Izuku.
Izuku. Yeah,
Izuku
yeah.
Midoriya, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Icy Hots, I think, is my favorite.
oh man, oh my goodness,
He's just so cool.
Absolutely.
He's got control already. He's
Todoroki is unreal, so good.
But you can already see they formed a team. There's
Mhm.
like the 4 of them are going to be
Yes.
the main guys. They've already
Yes.
been in one big fight and survived. So Bakugo,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
He's kind of crazy, but
yeah. Like, I got Sydney to watch it too. Sydney is my sister, his daughter, and she was the same thing. Like every time Bakugo said something, she was like, "This guy's a jerk." And I go, "Listen, I know, but he's just like." He's man. There's a moment in I think season 2 where you see Bakugo's like you get Bakugo's character where he's gonna get to number 1. He wants to make it no matter what.
Yeah.
It might not be the best way of going about things, but like everybody's favorite superhero in that show is All Might, and you look at a character like Bakugo and you don't expect that from him.
right.
But his favorite hero is also All Might. Everyone's favorite hero is All Might, and he looks up to him just like everybody else does. He just got a completely different worldview.
Yeah,
And
he's very angry.
he's a great foil for Deku as well. For Izuku's Deku, yeah, that's his superhero name.
Yeah.
So
Thanks. I missed that.
You're
yeah.
welcome. You're welcome. Just trying to help you out a little bit. Every little bit helps. So after season 1, what did you think of like who do you think your favorite student was after season 1?
Oh, Deco's cool.
Yeah,
He's got it all
man.
together. He's
What
like
a great protagonist too.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the ultimate underdog.
Ultimate underdog, ultimate nice guy.
Yeah,
True heart. Yeah, he's cool.
so determined.
I like Eraser.
Oh,
Eraserhead.
Eraserhead.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
that's a good character.
so cool.
Um, All Might, obviously, I actually like All Might when he's not All Might.
Oh yeah, right,
You know,
right.
that's kind of cool. And then, yeah,
I love Present Mike.
I will say this: the coolest villain so far is Stain.
Oh yeah, we'll get to
Without
that.
a doubt.
We'll get to
man.
Stain.
It
We'll
was-
get to
all
Stain.
right, I'm jumping ahead.
We'll
Did
get
I? All right,
way
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Way ahead. So season 2 starts off with a sports festival, which doesn't really seem like it has much to do with like season 1 ends with the League of Villains.
Yeah, attacking.
Yeah, and that whole thing. They're like, oh, the League of Villains, look out for these guys. And season 2 to the sports festival, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, what happened to
Wait,
the League of Villains?
yeah, what happened to-
How does that stop?
What happened to the entire? What happened to these guys? What's up with that? But man, the sports festival was probably my favorite arc in the show. Probably Stain actually is my favorite arc in the show.
Stain.
But the sports festival was just a great. It was not only a fun, entertaining, action-packed arc, but it was just such a great display of all the different characters and all their different
Right.
powers. And we got to see other characters or other students from the school as well, which we had never met previously. It was yeah. So what do you think of the sports festival? First round, the race. What do you think of the race?
Oh no, Sports Festival was awesome. It really was. And then when you saw some of them, when Icy Hot fought, what do you call it? And just used
Todoroki.
Todoroki.
Todoroki and Bakugo fought.
Yeah. And just showed all his power,
You
all his half of his power.
Yeah, and that Todoroki has got such a great just character all over. Like his backstory, everyone's got such a tragic backstory in this show. Every single person has got something, and his. You just feel so bad for him, and you get everything about him after watching seeing like the whole thing with his father and his mother.
Well, what's great is Ichiro finally gets him to accept this. That's the great thing about Ichiro. He basically
Ichiro?
yeah, what's his
Izuku?
name? Izuku. So Ichiro does a great job at helping people solve their own internal conflicts.
Of course.
He's such a cool character. He really is.
I feel if Izuku hadn't talked Todoroki, I feel Izuku was almost a shoo-in to win that fight because Todoroki was holding back on purpose. He didn't want to use his father's half, and Izuku could have won the fight. There were many chances where he could have just taken the win, but he was like, no, I'm going to help my friend out. I'm going to bring him to his full potential because I know what he can do. And Izuku wants to be All Might, and he is nailing it. He's a fanboy at heart, but he puts his everything into helping everyone always. And you get a really good display of that when he goes to help. He goes to help save his bully when he was getting killed in the first or second episode of the show.
Right.
The kid literally bullied him, said you'll be nothing, and said you should die.
He still helped him out.
And he still helped him out, even though he has no powers. There was no chance he was ever going to save that guy. And he just ran into it. And then, of course, you see All Might. He's like, this kid with no powers is showing me up. Izuku went from wanting to be a hero, looking up to this hero, saying, I'm going to be a hero no matter what, to having that hero tell him that he could not be a hero, not a chance, to then later that hero admitting that he was wrong. Izuku is the ultimate underdog. And at first, actually, when All Might had told Izuku that he was going to give him his power, I was kind of like, oh no, I was hoping it would be like kind of a Batman situation where he was the ultimate underdog. He was the one guy who didn't have the powers, but he was still like a top tier hero. But I am 100% on board for him having powers now. It's so good.
And I'm wondering what he's going to manifest into. Is he going to become grow up and fill out and be like All Might, or is he going to just be able to harness the power within his own body frame? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and something that is interesting is when you see All Might use his powers, there's no little electricity going on. It's just he gets big and buff. But when Izuku
He just turns into All Might.
He just turns into All Might, of course. But when Izuku uses his powers, there's like a little bit of electricity going on, and it glows. And so
that's for effect.
I know it's for effect, but it's also. Do you think maybe there was a quirk that was like it could have been something like this.
Oh, a dormant quirk
that,
in
yeah,
him?
it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just hidden inside of him or something. Yeah, man, that all for one is or no, sorry, one for all.
Right.
Overpowered. It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Such a cool idea for a power too.
Right.
Oh, that's another thing about this show. The powers are so clever and so unique. You have your typical like super speed, but they do it in a way that I've never seen before, where somebody literally has engines in his calves. Like that's so
That he can burn out, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you have one guy who has ice powers and fire powers, but it's split down the middle.
And they have to balance each other because if he goes too far over, he'll get too cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
And he really can't use one to its full extent without the other.
exactly right. And you've got this one guy who has super strength, but he has to eat sugar in order to gain it, and then he passes out afterwards. It's really
And the guy that electrocutes someone, but then turns into like fries his brain and starts to drool.
yeah. Then there's this one girl who can just make things appear, make inanimate objects appear,
Yeah.
which I've never seen that power before. Like that's this show has a lot of cool and unique
It is. It's an
superpowers
entertaining
that I've
show.
never seen. So yeah, the sports festival was great. We got a lot of
Similar to Harry Potter.
similar to Harry Potter. Yeah, very similar to Harry Potter.
That goes Harry Potter.
Yeah, sure. But I think
Head Snape.
but honestly, I think yeah, actually, yeah, that's a pretty good analogy. But I think Harry Potter just got lucky more than anything. Like
I
things
used his wit though, and he did, and but he has the same abilities. People are drawn to him. They trust him. They want to fight
but
for him.
also
Just like Deku, same thing.
the different
Harry
I,
Potter.
I think the biggest difference between Deku and Harry Potter.
No wand,
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was getting to. No scar either.
no scar.
Oh man, no
Yes,
glasses.
he does. He's got it on his hand now.
Oh, you're right. He does. No
Mhm.
scar on his forehead. But is Harry Potter was famous out of the gate. Right away, Harry Potter was a famous wizard. Everybody knew
Yeah.
Harry Potter's name. You said Harry Potter, you knew who that guy was. Nobody knew who Izuku was.
Right.
Everybody,
That's true.
everybody was against him. Now people are starting to learn about him, but people are still like, "What's up with this guy? He didn't have a quirk before. What is this nonsense?" So I think that's the biggest difference is that Harry Potter was just everything was happening to him because he was Harry Potter,
Right.
and I feel Deku has to work for it more than Harry did. So yeah, what was the arc after the sports fields? Was that Stain?
Stain.
Yeah, Stain.
Best villain.
Wow.
Like probably one of the best villains ever.
Period. Right.
Like in anything I've seen.
Yeah, man. It's his power is insane. First of all,
Yeah.
there's another crazy unique power is that you taste someone's blood and they can't move.
Right.
Perfect for killing.
Right.
He's got his design is like it's so over the top, but it works.
So he's a bloodbender?
I guess. I guess. And like I said, his design. You look at it like if you saw somebody wearing that, you'd be like, "What is up with this guy?" But it works.
Oh,
for
that's
it.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's so good, and the way he fights is cool, and he's got a morality to him as well because
Right.
he's like all these people are fake heroes. They're not real
He's
heroes.
fanatical, but he has like a
But he saves
A certain
Deku at
core,
one point.
yeah.
Like he saves Izuku from one of the Nomus at one point.
mm-hmm.
He is essentially the exact opposite of the main villain, the leader of the League of Villains. But they're both kind of trying to achieve the same thing. They both want to take out heroes, but for different reasons entirely.
Right.
And it's such a clever and it's one of like you said, one of the best villains. Period.
Right. He is.
So
Absolutely.
good. And it's a shame that his arc ended so quickly, but in retrospect, what a perfect ending to that arc as well. The only person who could take him out was him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend about it, and he had mentioned that it wasn't confirmed that he was dead, apparently.
Right.
So then we got to talking. Listen to this,
Or
Pops.
if he comes back.
Listen to this, Pops. Not only if he comes back, right? Not only if he comes back, but the League of Villains has gained this huge following. Remember, Stain hated the League of Villains. They said what you stand for is nonsense. You are
Right.
nothing. Like you have.
You're just a jealous kid.
You're just a
Yeah.
spoiled kid. You don't deserve anything. All this like you have no reason for anything. You are
But there's somebody behind the League of Villains.
right. Sure, but Stain hated the League of Villains. That was the point. The League of Villains tried to recruit Stain, and Stain was like, "No, you guys are nothing for what I believe in." And now the League of Villains has this huge following
Mm-hmm.
because of Stain.
Right.
So
right,
now
right.
Stain's death has led to the rise of the League of Villains. Imagine Stain teaming up with the heroes to take down the League of Villains.
Especially this new crew,
Yeah.
which they feel a lot of them, except for the guy that can shoot the beam out of his belt or whatever, but most of them are pure at heart,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is what Stain wants.
Right. And yeah,
He
one of
doesn't
the
like the heroes that are in it for the fame and the
Right,
fortune. He
yeah,
wants
that
the
was a
people
point that he
are in it
made.
to be, and that's why he didn't have a beef with All Might.
right, and that's why he didn't have a beef with Izuku. That's why he didn't that's why. Well, actually, that's why he wanted to take down All Might. That's why he felt All Might was the only person who was allowed to take him down.
Right.
And then when he was saying that people in their moment of death reveal their true self, and so you had Ida, who was in his moment of death, was like, "No, I'm going to stand up for my brother. This is what I came here to do. This is what I'm going to do." So Stain spared him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Izuku and Todoroki, same thing. Oh, actually, the Stain arc was
Gonna kill Todoroki.
no, the Stain arc was after the internship arc,
Mm-hmm.
which the internship arc was pretty cool too.
Right.
That's when you saw Izuku learning
Well,
how
that's
to
when they
control
met
his
Stain.
powers. That's when they met Stain.
They faced him.
True.
They survived.
That's
was
right.
the big thing. But
That's
they had
right.
to give up the credit to the father.
to Endeavor. What do you think of Endeavor, by the way?
He's just boorish.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just a. I think he is a little envious. He's too envious. He's too envious of All Might.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's who's your favorite pro hero? Do you have a favorite pro hero in that show?
I don't know. Not really.
Mine's Eraserhead, without a question.
Oh, Racerhead. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just everything about him. His quirk is really cool. The way
Yeah.
he fights is awesome.
He's a great character.
All around.
Yeah.
He there's a moment where you see that he cares about his students because he was like, whoever gets last place is going to get expelled.
What's up with the sleeping bag?
He's got to sleep all the time, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
That's where the humor comes in. He's like in the middle of class. He
Just
gets
is-
into this
Look-
sleeping bag
He's just in
and
his
goes to
cocoon.
sleep. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And there's another humorous part is when the robot fell on the kids during the race, during the thing, and you get that the hardening guy from class 1A that comes out, is like, "Oh, it's a good thing it fell on me. Anybody else would have been crushed." And then you get the steel kid pop up. He goes, "Oh, good thing it fell on me. Anybody else would have been crushed."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, what the hell? What's this guy?" And then they have a great fight too. They have a really good fight.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Stain, where were we?
We talk about Stain.
Stain. How
in the
great
arc
Stain
to the
is.
end. Yeah.
Yeah. Was
And
it
then, so go ahead.
Gran Torino? I think was the guy who Izuku interned with, the old guy who All Might knew.
That was a good character.
Yeah, he was really cool too.
That was
You-
like Miyagi.
You never knew. Yeah, dude, it was just like Miyagi. Like you never knew what he was.
Walks around all decrepit, and then all of a sudden he can do all these
Yeah,
things.
and he also would just say things, and you're like, "Is this guy crazy?" And then later on, you're like, "Oh, he was.
Oh, yeah.
He knew exactly what he was
I
saying."
want my fish.
Yeah, I
In
want
the
my
microwave.
fish.
I want to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool too. And then after the hero, what was after the hero killers arc?
Hero kills arc.
The like that story, the arc. The arc is the story, the overarching story.
Oh, I get you.
So you have the tournament festival arc, which is everything that has to do with the tournament festival, and then you have hero killer, and then what was after the hero killer? Oh, the final exams.
Yeah, the final exams, and then they're going to camp.
Yes,
Summer camp.
we'll get to season 3.
Yeah.
Yes, the final exams. What did you think of the final exams?
They were good. They
Yeah,
were entertaining. Nothing. I mean, it was the whole show is it. What I like about it is it continues to increase. Like it really becomes more action. The kids are becoming more and more comfortable with their powers or their quirks,
right.
and you're finding that they're going to. You can see the ones that are going to emerge, but them as a group is pretty solid.
Yeah, and watching the different team ups too, like team ups you never would have expected to happen. Like like Dark Shadow and Froppy.
Dark Shadows, actually, I forgot about. He's a pretty good character.
Really,
I like him.
He's really cool.
Seems he seems ahead of his age too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we don't know how old he is. You can't even tell. But
I mean,
guess.
it's funny. He's in My Hero Academia, which you kind of peg as all people in like high school, basically.
Right.
It looks like a preparatory school, right?
Right.
But yeah, he seems older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There's some, and yeah, like man, the common consensus for the fan base is that everybody likes pretty much all the characters. The ones that stand out especially are Todoroki and Dark Shadow and Froppy, but everybody hates Grape Juice. Every single person.
Yeah,
I can't. Every time he's on
Oh,
screen.
which brings up a
I
good
can't
thing. I
stand
think the show is very risque
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of stuff in here that this can't
Hey.
be aimed at kids.
Hey, that's just anime, man.
Yeah, well,
That's just anime,
him going girl crazy and
That's-
flipping out and
dude.
yeah.
That's just anime.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's how it
sorry.
is.
I need some ratings on anime.
I mean, yeah. There was Dragon Ball has a lot of moments where people like get their arms ripped off and blood is everywhere. There's a
Yeah.
moment where Vegeta like blasts someone. Or, was it Vegeta? There's a character who like blasts someone in the air and then it just rains blood. That's anime. But then it comes over to America, goes to all the rating things, completely changes.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone gets their arm ripped off, there's no blood. It's just like their arm, the stub is black instead of red. So yeah, if it doesn't, that show doesn't air on TV. You got to watch it online and stuff like that. So that's why we get the unedited version of it. But yeah, it's just how anime is, man. But those moments are worth sitting through because the rest of the show is just phenomenal.
Yes.
Just so good.
Oh yeah. No, very entertaining. Like I said early on, I'll continue to say it. It's I'm kind of hooked now, so I can't wait for the next season.
Yeah, so anything else I wanted to say about season 2? Oh, yeah, season during the really any part of the show, but especially during the final exams, you get some really cool character moments. Like with All Might when Izuku and Bakugo were doing their final exam with All Might,
Mm-hmm.
and All Might just like turned on a switch. Like you saw this. There was this moment where you saw All Might like destroy a building. Like if this guy wanted to,
Yeah.
he could end everything, and nobody could stop him.
Right.
And it
He's,
was
he's Superman basically.
yeah, but
So it's even when Bakugo was doing all this stuff and he was making him feel like he was like making some progress against them, and then he just said, "Yeah, that's enough."
yeah,
Basically, it's like, "Yep, that's enough. Bap,
yeah,
yep, done."
It's
Let me stick my hand in your face, and you can throw all your power you want, but I'm just going to sit here and hold you because you can't do anything about it.
and then watching the people team up, like watching Izuku and Bakugo team up to
Right.
stop All Might was so cool because these two characters, especially Bakugo, like everything in his power, he's like, I'm gonna win this alone.
Right.
And then you have these other character moments where you really see Izuku's character shine. Is when Bakugo was out cold. You only need one person to get through that goal to pass the exam. But Izuku had to go back and get Bakugo and drag him through with him because he's like, we're in this together. We're finishing this together.
Right. And he gets all mad about it.
Yeah, of course he does because that's Bakugo.
Right.
But yeah, that's season 2. What'd you think after season 2?
Remind me now what season 3 was about.
No, what'd you think after season 2? Like, what did you after finishing season 2? What were your thoughts?
Oh, I told you I'm hooked. I was like, I want to see what the next episode is. I want to start season 3 right away.
So
I binge watched like 10 episodes one day. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I was so
It's anime, and I'm like, this is awesome. So
yeah, dude. I'm so glad I got you into this, man. Because I'm like, there are so many good anime, and a
Right.
lot of them. There are a few that are so long, like Naruto, 700 episodes, unbelievable.
yeah, I probably won't be watching that.
No, I
but-
wouldn't expect you to.
Plus,
watch
I like
that.
these. These are like what, 22 minutes?
Yeah, well, that all anime is pretty much.
Yeah.
But a lot of anime is like at maximum 50 episodes. Like there have been shows where One Punch Man. I got you to watch the
Yeah.
first episode.
I was
You
trying to
kept falling
find it the other
asleep.
day too to watch it again, but
You gotta watch it on Adult Swim.
oh yeah, Adult
Yeah.
Swim. Yeah. I have to get to that.
13 episodes, 22 minutes long. That's it. That's all it is.
So I'm gonna offer you a challenge now too. So after this, I'm gonna have you watch an old cartoon
Oh boy.
and see how you like it.
Okay, we'll get to that at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So season 3 has done this thing in both episodes that have come out, where it starts off, and I'm like, this episode feels like it's going to be a whole lot of nothing, and it's just going to be filler. It's just going to be fluff, setting up for the next episode.
Right. Setting up for the season.
But I still love the episode. Like the first episode where they were just in the pool the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're just going to watch them train, really? But, dude, that episode was so fun.
The best part is when the race ahead comes in and just stops the race.
Just stops everything.
Like,
yeah.
stops the course.
He's like, not 5 o'clock, get
5
out.
o'clock, get out.
You have then you have this, of course, you have this now, this rival, there's always been a rivalry, but this more intense rivalry between those characters, like, who would have won that race?
Right.
Like, you have no idea.
Right.
And, yeah, it was just so fun watching all the different kids use their quirks to get across the pool. It was really cool. And then of course you had this other comedic moment where the girls were like, "Yeah, we just asked to use it for sunbathing, so we can do whatever we want." And the guy's like, "Why did you ask us? Why did you say we had to trade? What are you doing?" But then no, you had like this really fun race between all the guys, and it was really cool. And season 2, they go to the camp, and they get through the forest of death, the forest hidden
Yeah.
in the leaves.
Yeah.
And they're just fighting all these monsters and watching. Like, we've had all these moments where few characters team up to help each other, but now you have the whole class helping each other, teaming up, working together, and that was so cool.
Yeah.
It starts off like the way the episode starts off again was like they're at the camp, and I thought they were just going to be unpacking their bags and talking about how excited they are about camp.
But see, again, they're all, again, to my point, like Harry Potter, they're all rallying around Deku. Like, he is the cog.
Yeah,
like, he
yeah,
is the
of course.
one that's kind of making them all work together, making them all gel. They all want to get behind him because of what he's done, what
Right.
he's set up. Just like Harry Potter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. And then, but I thought like season 3, my point of season 3 so far, we're only 2 episodes in, is the episode starts off where I'm thinking to myself, this episode is going to be nothing. And then I end up loving the episode.
Right.
I don't know of a show that's ever done that before. I just want them to get into fighting the League of Villains, but then they don't fight the League of Villains, and I still love the episode. Like,
right. Yeah. No.
Everything about this show is so good.
It's well done. There's a lot of things you don't expect, catch you off guard a little bit, and then you like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a returning segment for this show should be a My Hero Academia review, like most recent episodes. Since this is coming out weekly,
Yeah.
the episodes are coming out weekly. Let's just talk about it for a few minutes every episode.
Right. About the latest episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's just do that.
So what's going to be the topic for our next?
Next episode. Well, next week, we record these on Wednesday. Or we will be recording these on Wednesday. Next Thursday, we're going to see Infinity War.
Oh.
So, the Wednesday before, let's
What-
talk about the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about...
We'll review them, which
Yeah.
ones we like. That
Let's just
kind
go
of stuff,
down the
yeah.
list. Start with Iron Man.
And then maybe make some predictions about Infinity War.
Absolutely. Let's do that
What we
next
think is
week.
going to happen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right.
Work on it. And then the following week, Infinity War talk. That's what we're doing.
So it is. All right.
All in. Balls to the wall. So, Pops, after watching the first 2 seasons and the first 2 episodes of the 3rd season of My Hero Academia, what would you say to yourself? If you could go back in time before you watched the first episode, what would you say to yourself?
I would say, why were you so resistant to watching My Hero Academia? It's fantastic. I should have had a better expectation of it because I watched and enjoyed Last Airbender.
Yeah.
So
I like all the reasons I could think of for you not wanting to watch the show. Like, I was like, I don't understand why. Because you've watched cartoons before. You've
Yeah.
watched subtitled things before. How many foreign films have you watched where you've had to read subtitles?
no, I'm not a big subtitle guy.
But you've watched.
I've had to, yeah,
Yeah.
if they're there, but I don't like it.
I mean, yeah, I also prefer.
That's why I
dub.
wait for the dubs.
Yeah, as am I. I'm the same way. But still, like if I want to watch something, like if there's something and I have to read subtitles, fine,
Right.
go with it. I'm okay. But like you tried to get, was it Ip Man? Doesn't that have subtitles?
Yes.
And you watched that and you loved it.
Yeah, because I just watched for the karate though. Excuse me, the Kung Fu, the Wing Chun.
There's so I
It's awesome.
and like you like and so not just this anime My Hero where it is literally about superheroes. Pretty much every other anime, there are many exceptions. There's an anime about baseball. Think of all the intensity of every fight scene in My Hero Academia, but about a baseball game. No, I know. It's just
And what's that show called?
the baseball one.
Yeah.
Diamond.
No, not the baseball one. The football one.
Okay. Well,
You were asking a question
Yeah.
about baseball, and
You're
I
right.
asked you what's the name, and then
I'm
you said,
sorry. You're right. Diamond No Ace, I believe, is the name of it.
Diamond No Ace.
Yeah, like 13 episodes long, I think. But it's just, and then pops, and then there's an anime about cooking. Take all that intensity from every battle in My Hero Academia and put it towards grilling a steak. It's ridiculous.
And then we had the pepper.
And then, oh, he's got the perfect grill line. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's insane. But it's like, it's
Can
just,
you hear it sizzle?
But the thing that's great about the show is that you're watching it, and as the character is yelling, "He's got the perfect grill lines," you're sitting in your chair like, "The perfect grill lines!" Like,
I don't know if I'd go that far.
no, but it's just like, it's you just like when it comes to watching anime, you just gotta accept it for what it is, and just have fun with it, really.
Yeah.
But
So I guess my you asked a question earlier, and about what I thought of after season 2, and I said to answer that question more succinctly, I like to be entertained, and My Hero Academia entertains me.
yeah, I'd admit I'd succeed to saying it was a bit of a slow start, but then
Right.
once it kicks in, man, pedal to the metal.
Yeah, it's good
It
stuff.
goes
It's good stuff.
all out. And then it doesn't matter what the characters are doing after that, because once you're into it, once you're invested, because this show does a great job of investing you in these characters. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
You are fully you care about these fictional characters.
Yeah, you want to see where they go. Yeah,
You
yeah,
want
yeah.
to you're
To
like
develop.
when they
Yeah, absolutely.
when they overcome something, you feel good about it. You like, yes, that's my like you're like that's my son. He did it. You feel good about it, and it's a great job. And like there's other anime that do that. So that cooking anime, it does a great job of getting you invested into these characters. So when that character gets the perfect grill lines, you feel good. You're like, yes, you did it.
So when you're watching that show, can you actually cook something that they show on the TV?
Absolutely not.
No,
No, but like
I mean, they show you how to cook a steak
I guess like it's
or make a dish
they.
that could probably actually be made and be pretty
I-
good.
I don't watch it for the recipes, man. I watch it for the just ridiculous
All the
intensity.
top stuff. Yeah.
The ridiculous intensity. But yeah, would you be so now that you've watched My Hero? Oh yeah, no. So as I was saying, everybody's into Marvel movies now, right? Everybody's on superheroes.
Mhm.
Everybody, so
Right.
many superheroes everywhere. Dragon Ball Z. It's not about superheroes, but these characters train. They get unbelievably strong. One of the characters trained in 100 times gravity to get stronger, and then started shooting laser beams at another character. Like, that's superhero stuff right there. This guy can fly. This guy has the ability to teleport. He can generate energy beams out of the palm of his hands. He can get stronger by just like screaming a whole bunch. Like, he's a superhero.
Right.
So the fact that people are so against, like the fact that people are so against watching anime is just insane because everybody's watched cartoons. Everybody's enjoyed cartoons.
Right.
If the subtitles is your problem, you've got dubbed anime. You've got anime where they speak English, and then they're just superheroes, man. So just watch anime. Just give it a try. If you had to, like, would you recommend this show to one of your friends?
My friend, only to the friends that I know would watch it.
Right. Before watching My Hero, would you ever imagine any of your friends watching My Hero?
I still don't imagine some of my friends watching My Hero Academia.
Of course.
But for the most part, yeah, I really can't think of other than Pooch. Yeah, he's probably the only one that would probably jump in on this.
Something I've learned is that black people love anime.
Really?
All of them, man.
I'll have to ask him.
All
actually.
of them. I can if you ask Pooch, he'll give you a list.
I'll bet you. Well, I'm going to ask him after the
We'll
show.
touch in next week.
Yeah.
see
I'll
what
find
it
out what
is.
his responses were to the question.
It's I can't think of a single friend that
because
I have
he's
that
into
hasn't watched it.
superheroes. Like he's
Yeah.
like big into Green Lantern and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
like think like any of your other friends that are like talk about you about the Marvel movies or whatever. Like,
Oh, actually, there'll probably be a few others I could probably recommend this
Right.
to.
but
Now that I think of it,
but before watching this show, could you ever picture anybody watching this? Like any of your friends, any of your adult,
yeah, but not my core
friends.
friends. No.
But like some like the friends you're thinking of now that you're like, yeah, they would watch that.
Right.
Before watching this show, do you think they would watch this?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that you're into it, man, you're like, I get it.
I'll recommend it
I
because they'll
get it.
probably like it. So.
Yeah. So, that's So, you liked My Hero. You liked the comedy part of My Hero.
Yeah.
You liked the superhero part of My Hero.
I like the whole show. Right.
One Punch Man.
I've only seen one episode.
13 episodes, man.
I'm gonna reserve my
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
comment.
I'm just saying.
my commentary on that until I see the whole.
If you like My Hero, and you had brought it up, was the comedy part of My Hero, the funny parts of My Hero. One Punch Man is a comedy about superheroes, but it's like one of the best superhero shows that I've ever watched. It's so good. That's another one you gotta just give it a try. It's a quick watch.
So I think what we should do at the end of the episode is, because we're both big movie buffs.
Yeah, of course.
I just came up with this on the spot.
Yeah,
so
sure.
We'll talk about it. Is that we recommend a movie that we've both seen.
Okay.
Maybe one that I've ever even introduced you to that
Fair
you
enough.
wouldn't think that most people would go out and watch and just say, you know what, if you're gonna watch a movie this week, try this one.
Yeah. Have you watched a movie recently that you can recommend?
I always watch movies. So
Right.
obviously, most people should. But I would say, kind of an older movie which you really liked. So I won't go with like the obvious ones. We'll go with ones that are kind of off, like
Right.
Boondock Saints,
Okay.
right? Something like that.
Sure.
So I would have to say, well, let's go with that. Boondock Saints.
All right. Sounds good.
So if you haven't seen Boondock Saints, I highly recommend you go rent it and watch it because it is an awesome movie.
give it a watch. Let us know what
So-
you think. And yeah, we don't know how to end off this episode.
So we're gonna say that's it.
The moral of the story is
The moral of the story is never underestimate anime.
judge a book. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge an anime by its animation.
Yes. All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of The Father, the Son, and the podcast. My name is Ian. I am the Son,
My name is Paul, and I am the father.
and this has been our podcast. That was a cheesy ending, huh?